Back in 94, 95, I was getting real sick. I was having problems with my spine. My dad had heart disease. He had heart surgeries. I was having all sorts of problems and I got sick. Went out and on disability. Got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Finally decided that the doctors, I wasn't having a good experience. So I started reading the medical texts. It took me a while. And when I did that, I studied toxicology, immunology, microbiology, immunology, the different fields. Now, again, it's a long process, but I found that they were all interrelated. Once I did that, I found out that, again, the air that we breathe, the water that we wash in and drink, have enormous impacts along with chemicals and pesticides, mold, fungus, candida, yeast, microorganisms, parasites, bacteria, viral components.
Keep going.
And
great.
As that's what I learned about, that's what I started doing, and I reversed all these different symptoms I had in myself. I had ankylosing spondylosis, I had fibromyalgia, I had neuropathy. I was on a variety of these different painkillers. I was on morphine for about 4 or 5 years. Thing is that I learned that, again, painkillers are good initially, but they dehydrate the cells and they cause damage and that. Once I learned about all this stuff and water and nutrition, I was able to reverse going from 300 pounds down to 200 pounds. And now I'm not a doctor, I'm not a practitioner. I go by environmental detoxification cellular helper, but I try to help people that have the same sorts of problems. Generally, I'm very successful at it.
Well, I'd rather listen to you than somebody that calls themselves a doctor.
Well,
my God.
I don't know about that, but again, I have been successful with I have been successful with a lot of people.
Good for you.
People that, I'll give you one story. I saw a patient with AIDS. He had seen, from what he had told me, he said 15, 20 other guys before me that were healers on top of the doctors that he had already seen. He told me right now, he said, Don, I don't expect you to be able to help me, but I said, I heard you were good. And 6 weeks later, he told me I was the first guy to ever help him and reverse any of his symptoms and stuff. So
wow.
Very rewarding.
That helps.
Good.
What was anything tangible that comes to the top of your head that you told him to do that really worked?
Water.
Water. Well, water. Yeah, that's
but
a big thing.
Again, nutrients and stuff. People basically don't understand. There's an answer to every problem. It's that when you have these different components in your system, what happens is that they mix and meld. Most problems start. Again, most people here, and again, this is just a tidbit, but I'll bet you most people here don't know how to brush their teeth. Now, again, most people will look at me and go, well, he's got to be wrong. About 98% of the time when I talk with people and I tell them the correct way, bacteria starts in your mouth. If you have a dirty mouth, if you've got bacteria there, that travels down your throat where your thyroid and everything is, down to your heart and lungs. Is it any wonder, by the time it gets down to your GI tract, what happens? You get sick. And again, these things, they accumulate, and again, there's all sorts of different areas we can talk about, but that's basically one of the things, just starting out, if you're breathing dirty air, drinking dirty water, and you don't know how to take care of your mouth, you're going to be in trouble.
Would you suggest that I watch who I kissed?
Actually, too late for that, Randy.
Oh, is it?
Sorry.
Oh, we don't kiss and tell here, remember? Oh, okay.
If you want an honest answer on that,
Yeah.
The thing is that kissing, again, stuff can be transmuted. The thing is that if you have a strong immune system, you don't have to worry about it. Meaning that most people don't know that there are things they can do to correct problems right away. The thing is that when you know those things, you do those things, and you're pretty much okay.
That's great.
What is the correct way to brush your teeth?
Yeah,
How do
that's
you
my
tell
mother.
it?
Well, it's just that you don't brush your teeth, you brush your gums. Am I correct?
Well, that's part of it.
That's part of it.
It's
Okay.
not for us, because
I just
might as well be on
scotch.
air.
Is that
so-
okay?
It kills everything, right?
Yeah, it's like
That's
a
alcohol's a
medication.
good
You
brush.
don't need Valiums, you don't need anything, so you
Yeah.
can...
No, that's the way, that's the way.
Well, and
But
again,
really,
just so you know, I charge, well, I don't want to go into that, but the thing is that generally most people don't know what a tongue scraper is, they don't know what a toothpick is, as far as the tongue scraper has a little hooking device on the end, it's out of my bag. Thing is that every time you eat, you should scrape your tongue. You
Wow.
should brush your teeth. You should use an ionic toothbrush. Most people, those are just little things, and again, I won't go into all the critical stuff right here, but again, if you have the right apparatus, electric toothbrushes for the most part don't work. Thing is that most people, they spend a lot of money on all these disinfectants and they drink all these things. The point is that they're natural things that you can take while you brush your teeth, and you brush your gums, you scrape your tongue, and you use an ionic toothbrush, and that'll go a long way.
Would you suggest that I wash my mouth out with soap?
Did your mother make you do that when you said it bad?
No, she didn't. That's part of the problem.
I wouldn't say that, but again,
That's
most,
why he is where he is right now. Maybe she should have, yeah.
most store-bought remedies, again, there's such a thing as food-grade hydrogen peroxide. Most people don't know about it, but the thing is that it's much more effective as far as when you do different things. Now again, if you don't have any training or knowledge in a lot of this stuff, it can affect you adversely, so it's good to talk to somebody that has been through it and has actually had symptoms or problems or been diagnosed with things. Then when you reverse it, you can say, well, geez, he had this, he must kind of have an idea what he's
Well, can we have people contact you through Marty's Kitchen?
Sure.
Oh, great, great. Okay, we'll make sure they do that, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that could use some of your good advice.
I would be happy to give it.
I have 3 or 4 girlfriends, you know, right off the top of my head, that could definitely...
Just 3 or 4?
Yeah. Well, I have a dementia. You know, I can't remember everything, so it can only go back so far.
Marty's Kitchen even has what you were talking about. They have the toothpick commercial grade.
See, we're equipped here.
A little bit of lemon juice.
Bingo.
That's good, right?
Right?
Sure, that's good. So it's all commercial grade and reusable. Just kind of rinse.
Who knew? Who knew?
Very good. We'll try that later. Okay, get the Band-Aids. We'll be all right.